Good morning, boys and girls. Today I'm going to show you how to do the partial quotients strategy for dividing. I'm going to do two different problems. I'm going to divide by one digit and I'm going to do another one with two-digit divisors. So let's start this out. Let's say you start with a problem like 347 divided by 5. And when you're doing partial quotients, you're going to basically set it up similar to how you've seen other division problems set up. Do our 347, do the little division symbol, and then the 5 on the outside, our divisor. But with partial quotients, you're going to do this line down the side. Because what we're going to do, basically, is we're going to subtract groups of 5 from our dividend 347. These groups are the partial quotients, and they will add up to be our final answer. Now, when you're doing division with partial quotients, often kids will do a little side work. And the side work is just to help you with your division. I know you guys are much better at multiplying than you are at dividing. So what we do is we write some multiplication facts on the side here. I'm just going to label this side work here, which will help us divide, basically. So I know that with my multiplication facts, I'm good with my 2s, I'm good with my 5s, and I'm good with my 10s. And I bet every single one of you would agree those are your easiest ones that you do. And that's all we're going to need to work with, with partial quotients, 2, 5, and 10. Now, our divisor, we're dividing by 5, so I am going to use my side work to find multiples of 5. So 2 times 5, 5 times 5, 10 times 5. And our answers would be 10, 25, and 50. These are problems you can do without using a multiplication sheet or table. Okay, so the thing is now I have 10 groups of 5, which is 50. And we're going to need to come up with some bigger numbers than 50 because 347 divided by 5 is going to be way bigger than 50. So one way to do that is just to add a 0. So with my 2, I could just add a 0, make it 20 times 5. And 20 times 5 is the same thing as 2 times 5, which is 10, and one more 0. So basically, my answer added a 0. 10 went to 100. The next one would be 50 times 5. And that is just, like I said, just add a 0. 250 would be what it comes to. 5 times 5 is 25. Add one more 0. The next one would be my 10. And instead of 10, I'm going to use 100 times 5. And everybody knows 100 times 5 is 500. Well, now I can see that this one here, this side work that I just did for 500 is more than 347. So I don't even need that one. So I'm just going to cross that off. Okay. So remember, when you're doing side work, you only need to go up to as high as your dividend in your original problem. Okay, the next thing we do, now that we've done our side work, is we subtract the multiples, basically the quotients. All right, I know that I could take away 250 from 347. That is 50 groups of 5. So my 50 goes out here. Some people put a little times 50 just to kind of explain that they know they're really doing 5 times 50. And 5 times 50 is 250. And just like we do when we're dividing, we subtract that amount. 7 minus 0 is 7. 4 minus 5, I'm going to have to borrow. Change that to a 2 and change that to 14. 14 minus 5 is 9. Okay, now let's look back at our side work. Can I take away another group of 250? No. Can I take away 100? No. But I can take away 50. Okay, and that is 10 groups of 5. So I'm going to take away 50. Okay, so 7 minus 0 is 7. 9 minus 5 is 4. Now, at this point, I'm starting to get down to a smaller number. I could say to myself, do I know the basic fact for 47 divided by 5? And probably you do. If you counted backwards from 47, 46, 45 would work. And what is 45 divided by 5? It is 9. So 9 groups of 5 is 45. Now, I'm just going to stop there for a second. If you didn't think of your basic fact at this point, you could have actually just taken away 25. And then you'd be left with an amount, and maybe then you would realize the basic fact that would help you. So, it's there's multiple ways of doing this, but ultimately you want to get down to as far as you can. I know that 7 minus 5 is 2, and 4 minus 4 is 0. So I can't go any further than that. 2 is a good remainder because it's less than our divisor. Now, the final thing you have to do is you just have to add all these up. 50 plus 10 is 60, plus 9 would be 69, and don't forget your remainder 2. So that is partial quotients with a 1-digit number. Let's try it with a 2-digit number. Here's our problem, 1,896 divided by 13. Okay, so we'll set this one up. 1,896 divided by 13. Now, for the side work, I'm going to kind of do it vertically because I'm multiplying with a 2-digit number, and I need to be able to do my multiplication. So on the side here, I'm going to do 13 times 2, because we do 2, 5, and 10, right? So I just need to use those side work multiples. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. Next, I would do 13 times 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5. One more makes 6. And the last one would be 13 times 10. And that's the same thing as 1 times 13 with a 0. 130. Now, 130 is definitely not anywhere close to our dividend, so we're going to need to add some zeros. Okay? Over here, up here by the 13 times 2, I'm just going to change it to times 20. And what is 13 times 20? Well, it's going to be the same as 13 times 2, which is 26, but add a 0. I didn't write the 13 here because all of these are multiples of 13. And, side work is a lot of, extra work that you probably don't want to do, but it is helpful. And you can write the 13 over and over and over. Anyway, next we have times 50, and that would be the same answer here, 65, but with a 0. We're starting to get closer to our dividend. The next one would be times 100, and that's going to be 1,300. Yeah, now we're pretty close. I think you know what number we're going to take away first, and it's going to be this 1,300. So we're going to take away 1,300, and that is, remember, to write your groups of. It's 100 groups of 13. You got to write that 100 there because that's part of your answer that you're looking for. We subtract 6, 9, 8 minus 3 is 5, and that's that. Well, I can't take away another group of 1300s. Cross that off. If I did 50 groups, that would be 650, and I don't have 650, so I'm going to cross that one off. But I can take away 260, which is 20 groups. So 260, 6 minus 0, 6, 9 minus 6, 3, and 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay. What can I take away now? Well, I can still take away another group of 260. So that's going to be another group of 20, 260. And subtract that. 6 minus 0 is 6. 3 minus 6, well, I'm going to have to borrow and regroup. 13 minus 6 is 7. Okay, I'm going to need a little bit longer line, I see. I can't take away 260. I can't take away 130. I can take away 65. So that's 5 groups. And that would be taking away 65. 6 minus 5 is 1. And 7 minus 6 is 1. So I'm down to 11. My divisor is 13. So, whoops. So 11 is less than 13, so 11 will be my remainder. Okay, you don't have to divide anymore when you get to a number which is less than your divisor. But before you finish, you got to add up your partial quotients. 100 plus 20 is 120. Another 20 would make it 140 and 5. So the total, now you could also add it all up. I'm doing this in my head, but 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 2 plus 2 is 4. And 1 plus nothing is 145 with a remainder of 11. And that is your answer. I hope that helps, guys.